Lions and lionesses. Today, I'm going to share an important message with you. One that no one really ever talks about, but it's a game changer. So let's get into it. Promises. Promises to others, but more importantly, promises to yourself. So how many times someone has enrolled in a program saying like, I have this goal, I want to do this, and I'm making a promise to themselves. They may not say that, but they say they have a goal, or they sign up for something and unconsciously there's a promise there and your subconscious mind is aware of it. Now, when you sign up for something, when you say you're going to do something and you make a promise to yourself and you don't follow through, a little piece of you dies every time. I'm not exaggerating, because every time, everything is recorded. And it's recorded saying like, hey, remember when you did that, then you didn't do it? Remember when you did that and you didn't do it? Remember that thing? Yeah, you didn't do it. What happens? Well, you start to develop beliefs through what? Experiences and thoughts. Those are beliefs. Automated thoughts are beliefs. And so it's like a software program in your mind. And so we can create these things the way we want them if we're willing to work and contemplate and be aware and to be honest with ourselves and take full responsibility. Or like the majority of the world, probably almost everyone, maybe less than 1%, who owns their beliefs, that owns their thoughts. They master their emotions. And as a result, when you can master your thought and emotion, then that leads to action or inaction. That's what causes you to create certain decisions and take certain actions. So every time you make a promise, you say you're going to do something and you don't do it, a little piece of you dies because your belief in yourself is being diminished. It's starting to erode. It's starting to rot away. And there's a point where there's not much there, so just stop trying. And that's not you guys, but you've met these people. A lot of times people are just like, this is my life, and yep, life happens to me, and I have no control over it. Emotions just happen. I have no control over it. That's all horseshit. And that's okay for them. They're innocent. They don't know. But for you, you're the type of person that knows these things. But it's a time to master this. If you want to master your body, master your mind. Because everything begins in the mind. Everything that has ever been achieved, everything that has ever been created began as a single thought. And then you thought about it more. It gave you a little spark of emotion. Then you started to imagine, what would that be like when I achieve this? And then you start to get more emotion. Then you start to get excited. Then what happens is you now have created grid work around you where you start to notice things. Tony says it's the reticular activating system part of the brain. And that's like when someone buys a car, you buy a car and you start noticing other people have that car. You just told your brain to pay attention to something. That's all that is. And then you start taking actions because you're noticing opportunities. You're like, yes, I'll do that. That will lead me where I want to go. That feels right. And that's how we create things. But when it comes to this stuff of mastering your mind, if you master your mind, you master your body, you master your finance, you master relationships. But just think of what your life would be like if every time you spoke, you created. Would that be good or would that be bad? For most people, it would be terrible. So thank God we don't say something, it's instantly created. It has only done through intention of purposely saying something, and then the attention of concentrating, focus on. This is why each workout it tells you very specific mental conditioning instructions. I know who does this and I know who don't. I can tell it's very clear because there is a different type of person that does those instructions, and they usually mention it somehow, but their language changes. And if you can change your language, that means you have changed your thoughts. And if you can control your language and your thoughts, then you can control your emotions. And then you can control your decisions and actions. And then you're a master of life. You are a conscious, deliberate creator of circumstance. Life doesn't happen to you. You create your reality. And if that sounds crazy to you, you need to do some research on this. Trust me, I'm very scientific. I study every day. I'm not saying it to brag. I'm a nerd. And it takes a lot of time, but I love it. And I've read, I don't know how many books, but if you came to my house, it looks like a cross between a laboratory and a library. It's pretty nuts. And I would say it's like a shrine of some sort because I'm very spiritual in action. But the whole purpose of this is there's a word that gets thrown around a lot that doesn't really exist in many places or in many people's vocabulary. It's called integrity. At this point in history, it's okay for people in authority and leadership positions to lie, and no one's holding them accountable. And this is exactly what happened in World War II. So look into that. There's a book by a guy named Andy Anderson. It's a small little book, and it's like How to Kill 10 Million People. That's the title, something like that. It's a short read, And it was an article, I think, in the New York Times or in the New Yorker at one point, and it went viral. And then this was it, because it was a true story. And it wasn't the only time that happened. It happened again and again and again. So it all starts with us, though. Each one of us. We can't control other people, but we can control ourselves. So integrity is saying you're going to do something and doing whatever you got to do to make that happen. And sometimes it's okay to go back on it because circumstances change, but not because of a lack of effort, not because you just forgot about it, not because you got distracted. Those are all unacceptable. We talk about lions and lambs. A lion is saying, this is who I am. This is who God made me be. I live in love-based emotion. And I'm not this lamb that lives in fear-based emotion. That is the only difference. It's not saying like be big and tough and intimidate people. And that's not what I mean by lion or lioness. I mean saying like, this is who I am. I'm a good person. I don't harm anybody. And I do great things. And I'm a force for good. I'm a force for God, right? And so staying out of fear, not letting fear color your decisions, because that is the path of destruction. That is the path of self-sabotage. So realize who you are. What's your true identity? Take some time to contemplate these things. You can't just listen to these things. You have to do the work and think about these. Contemplate it, write it out, script it out, and just say like, who am I? And the truth is you are far greater than you realize, because the conditioning in society is to put you in fear. Because in fear, we can control, we can manipulate, we can get you to buy our dumb shit that doesn't matter. And so remember this. Make promises to yourself. Make promises to other people. That's good. Think them through. And then, and only then, stick to them. Do whatever it takes. This isn't about commitment and doing it and hating the process. It's about devotion. Staying in love-based emotion and keeping your promises to yourself and others. That's why you train. You don't train to look a certain way. That is cool. It's a cool side effect. And you'll have a body you're proud of and that won't let you down. But the real purpose is each day you tap into that part of you, that lion, that lioness, that part of you that is your true self, your best self, and you summon it, you command and demand that part of you to come up, to rise up through you. And then when you train, at the end of the train session, you are connected. And then you visualize your day the way you want to unfold, and then you go do it. You make promises to yourself and you keep them. You make promises to others, you better keep those too. That's what integrity is, my friends. And this is your true nature. This is where you create. This is who you really are. I'm not saying this to pump you up or lie. I don't care. I will tell you the truth no matter what. And if the one thing I don't like, some of you know this, is I refuse to listen to limitations, self-imposed limitations. And I will tell you the truth no matter what. And that's what you got to do with yourself. Be kind to yourself, but don't be so hard that you can't progress, that you deem yourself unworthy and that you can't do things. You can absolutely create your life. It begins by mastering your thought, mastering your emotions, and mastering your movement of your body. Movement affects your thoughts and emotions. And when we combine it all first thing in the morning, you crush the day. All right, lions and lionesses, thanks for listening. Let me know what stood out to you. If you have any questions or anything you want me to cover, let me know. But listen to this one again and again until it becomes part of your subconscious mind. And then it will be automated. You got this. You tap into the real you, but you have to retrain yourself. The way you retrain yourself is you wake your ass up in the morning and you say, I am here for a reason and a purpose. And it's bigger than my moods. It's bigger than the difficulties of the day. I am here to live like a lion, not the fear of a lamb.